Now, speaking of the electorate, ensuring that energy is reliable and cheap used to be an election winner. But these days, politicians can hide behind the multiple layers of bureaucracy that entangle the industry. We have, for example, the Australian Energy Market Commission, which writes the rules, and these are enforced by the Australian Energy Regulator, and those rules are meant to be adhered by the Australian Energy Market Operator, which in turn keeps an eye on all the companies generating, distributing and selling electricity. This conveniently leaves out elected politicians out of the loop. So who puts their hands up in the events of a blackout and says, well, that was my mistake, I'll either fix this problem or resign?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We've basically got a nationalised system of electricity these days. It's just nationalised in partnership with the private sector. And that means that it's someone at a political level who is responsible, but we know that political responsibility is only exacted at election time. And often electors are making decisions on a variety of factors, and power prices may not be the one factor they make that decision on. You also, I think, have a problem in that both sides of politics have gone along with this nonsense. The Liberal Party have not been prepared to say, this is a disaster waiting to happen and here are the problems. They've pretended. They went to the last election with a net zero by 2050 promise, so they've pretended that it can be done as well, with some honourable exceptions. You know, for example, our National Party senators from up here, like Matt Canavan.
Yep. Well, ironically, they call the current system a deregulated market because the private sector is involved, but it's more regulated than ever. And like I said before, and you agree with me, the buck keeps getting passed around in circles. Nobody's responsible anymore, are they, Graham?
They're not. And that's the way I suspect our politicians like it to be. You know, Chris Bowen's driving this, it's his legacy. But by the time the really big cracks are apparent, he won't be around.
No, he'll be on his parliamentary pension and enjoying a good life.
He'll be running a super fund, I'd
say. that's another topic for another day.
Probably investing overseas because there'll be no investments worth having in Australia.
Exactly. Good point. Graham Young, thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure, Fred.
That's Graham Young, the Executive Director of the Australian Institute for Progress.